pleasure for me to be here. I'm so happy that I'm here, that I prepared some speech for you. My presentation called The Impact of Church Restitution on the Concordat Agreement between the Czech Republic and the Holy See. I know the first question on your mind is, why is Czech Republic so important to have two speeches in one panel? The answer is that Miloš speak about the situation in the Czech Republic, especially in the Czech Republic. I take it from the international point of view, how church restitutions is important for diplomatic relations between the Czech Republic and the Holy See. If I speak about the Holy See, it means that I speak just about the Catholic Church, because Holy See is international element of the Catholic Church. Just so if I say a church, I mean a Catholic Church. To make it more confusing for you, the one thing is that I speak about the Czech Republic, but in the presentation I also use a term Czechoslovakia. It means that my final point of view is focused on the Czech Republic, because Slovakia has a Concordat treaty, so it's not interested anymore. But Czech Republic still waiting for this treaty. But we have a similar history. We were one state, so I use term Czechoslovakia. But one day Slovak people says that they have a prettier woman, so they want to divide because they don't want to share it with Czech people. So we are divided now. But Slovak students came to Czech university. So who's the winner now? So I start. Do you know what's the difference between the Czech Republic and other countries? What the Czech Republic is red and other countries are, other neighborhood countries are green. It's, as I said, we miss the Concordat Treaty, and our neighborhood have this treaty. What is Concordat Treaty? It's a treaty or agreement between the Holy See and the state. Especially in my case, it's the Czech Republic, about the church in the country, about the privileges, about the duties in the country. So it's an important treaty, and it's nice if the state have it, because know how to behave to church, and church know how to behave in the state. The question is, why doesn't the Czech Republic have a Concordat? I also start in history. As a start point, I choose year 1918. It's because the divide of Austro-Hungarian Empire and establish new countries, especially in our case, it was the Czechoslovakia, so Czech and Slovakia together. Also, to make it more or less clear to you, it depends on your opinion. I divided into 5 points, 5 historical or historical periods. So you can see how I divide it, and now I try to speak about each historical period. The first period is about the collapse of Austro-Hungarian Empire, and this was a little bit problem for Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia. Maybe I answer on the question of Professor Dalibor Dukic, why the Czech Republic is not so religion. The people are not so religion. The reason is we have 2 bad guys in the Czech Republic. One is EU. If something is bad, it's because the European Union. And the second reason is because of church. If something is wrong, it's because of church. If something is right, it's absolutely because we have great politicians. But if something is wrong, it's these 2 bad guys. And we have this in our history. So we can see it also in the first period, because Austro-Hungarian Empire was connected close with the church. So people, when they have their own country or state, they think, okay, we are against Austria-Hungarian, and we are also against the church, because it's the same thing. So it was the first problem in our history. These people also vote politicians, and politicians also wasn't so church-friendly. We have a president, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk, and Prime Minister Karel Kramář. Especially Nuncius, which is ambassador of the Holy See in the Czech Republic, says that especially Prime Minister is against the church, like really negative to church. So we have some things which is not good looking for the Holy See. For example, new public holidays, including the feast of heretic Jan Hus. So we don't want to have good relations with the Holy See. And if you don't want to have good relations with the Holy See, it's not possible to make some negotiations about the treaty, about the Concordat. Rumor says, especially historian Emilia Hrabovec said that the president Masaryk tried to disrupt the diplomatic relations with the Holy See to achieve a sharp religious rift with the Catholic Church. So it was not good relations from the Czech side. But the Holy See was very welcoming to our style that say, okay, it's not possible to say we agree with Czechoslovakia state de jure, but we say, okay, it exists de facto. So the Holy See was very friendly to our new state. The age looks very bad in context of diplomatic relations. But we also can manage to agree on a modus vivendi. Full name is Modus Vivendi inter Sactam Sedem and Republicam Czechoslovakam in 1928, which is a temporary treaty. It's not the same like a Concordat. It's just something like pre-treaty before the Concordat. So temporary treaty to be replaced in Concordat treaty in future. It was a success for both sides, for Czechoslovakia because it confirmed that recognition of an independent state, and also for the Holy See because they agreed on at least necessary minimum to have some treaty with the Czechoslovakia. But it's still not the Concordat treaty. It's not still the main point where I want to be. Sad but true, people in Czechoslovakia thinks that the church or the Holy See as the Catholic Church and the empire is the same thing so much that we have fake news. It's not a modern thing like fake news nowadays. It also was in 1819 that the Marian column we had in Prague is symbolized the Austria-Hungarian Empire, so people go and destroy it. It was absolutely fake news. It was just historical and church monument with no connection to Habsburg or the monarchy. So we had the fake news, and it ends with the end of this Marian column. If you go to Prague, we have a new one signed 2020, so I believe that it will be here forever, not for next fake news. But just to present how bad it was in our situation. So I said that we have modus vivendi. Modus vivendi contain only the necessary agreements, but this already led to an improvement in relations between Czechoslovakia and the Holy See. If you have to discuss about something and make some agreement, it is the result is that you improve your relations with the other side. So at least we have better diplomatic relations with the Holy See, but it was still on a bad level because anti-church moved in Czechoslovakia. So the treaty contained just 6 points, like topics, not points, like you see on my slide, but like really necessary 6 topics of coexist between the church and Czechoslovakia. In the second part, diplomatic relations between the Czech Republic and the Holy See was disrupted by declaration of Protectorate of Bohemia and Moravia by Germany. Diplomatic relations between the Holy See and Czechoslovakia was broken off. Also, as I spoke about the nuncius, about the ambassador of the Holy See in Czechoslovakia, so nunciator was closed in 1945. So absolutely break off of the diplomatic relations between the Holy See and Czechoslovakia. We have some bad part of our history. But the good idea very positive thing of church was that priest doesn't want to agree with the Nazi regime in our country. So priest issued a false baptism certificate, helped to persecute people with collection of food, of clothes and other things. Hid them in parishes and distribute illegal printed matter. Also, Nazi leadership know about these actions and thus acted hostile to the church. Meanwhile, the government in exile was trying to establish diplomatic relations with the Holy See because they see, wow, they help us. They are also against the Nazis Germany. So probably the church is not bad as we thought in history. The next period is of open persecution of religion and churches. It's because of communism regime. In addition to the torture and execution of Catholics and the church leaders, there were convictions and internment for a total of 42,763 years in total. So like a big number. Which see that the communism regime was probably worse for us, or not for us, but for the church, than the Nazi regime. Like Nazi regime know that church is against them, but it's a little bit better than the communist regime. The problem is that on 20th December of 1943, before the end of war, the Treaty of Friendship between the Czechoslovakia government and exile and Soviet Union was signed. So we are under Soviet influence since 1943. And also it was evident in the relationship with the Holy See and the Church. The prestige of Vatican legation was lowered from nunciator to internunciator. So we have a lower level of international relations with the Holy See. We have communism regime for a long time here, and they were very active against the church. We have a lot of actions. The main actions was action K, action Z. I'm happy that you use this letter because it's like you can know that it's from the Czech Republic. Absolutely, it's action. And also. Little bit sad, little bit funny. They want to add action B, but when they realize it, to eliminate all women's monasteries and nunneries, they know that they have no people in hospitals and others. So they say, okay, it's church, but we need then people in our republic. So this action was cancelled. Relations between Czechoslovakia and the Holy See, 1960 and 1989, we are still in a communism regime, but the three important points of this area is Ostpolitik and Pope John. After the election of the new Pope John 23rd, there is a change in the Holy See's foreign policy towards the Eastern Bloc countries, so-called Ostpolitik. The Holy See made a new effort to find a way out of the current situation that the countries in the Eastern Bloc would be not isolated. The Holy See focused on sub-issues concerning spiritual life. The relations between the Holy See and Czechoslovakia was greatly helped by the diplomatic relations between the Holy See and the Soviet Union, because it's not like communism say, okay, now we are friends with the church, but they say the same thing what we say in 1918. We don't agree with the church, but it makes improve our international position when we have some negotiations with the church. So it's not like communism absolutely change and say, okay, now it's okay. They try to improve their position. The second is 1968. Given the good relations and the Prague Springs, when 3 bishops were released from house arrest, it looked like a resumption of diplomatic relations and therefore a possibility to open negotiation of Concordat. However, the situation changed very quickly on the night of 20 to 21st of the August with the invasion of Czechoslovakia by Warsaw Pact troops to stop the planned reforms, like friendly army in our country, without some invitation. And the first part, or first important part of this historical period is 1989, the fall of the communist regime. Now the question. The Czech Republic is not the anti-church because of the fall of Austria-Hungary. There is no Nazi and communism regime in power that acted hostile to the church and the Holy See. It has been long 34 years from 1990 to nowadays. So how is possible that in these 34 years we still don't have a Concordat? What's the problem since 1990? It is true that diplomatic relations between the Czech Republic and the Holy See are at a high level nowadays. This is evidenced, for example, by the visit of Pope John Paul II to the Czech Republic less than 6 months after the fall of communism. It normally takes more than 1 year to make this arrange a Pope visit, so less than 6 months, it's absolutely great. Everything looks beautiful, so the question is, where is the problem where everything is beautiful? And now we came back to the first presentation and start to speak about the church restitutions. And I think that maybe it could help Ben's question also, because it's about specific this area. Now I'm a little bit lost. Yeah, I'm not lost? Okay. Also, I said that Concordat is contract between the state and the Holy See. The state is represented by the political representation of the state. There were two big political parties in the Czech Republic from 1990 to 2013, and the big issue for both of them was church restitution, both of them. Legally, what was stolen should be returned. I think that everyone agree with me. But politically, we have ČSSD and ODS, the two parties. ČSSD, it's socialist, but it's something like small communist party. So yeah, absolutely. So they were not in favor of returning property to the church because they still have the rhetoric that church is bad. They still have it nowadays, so it's nothing changed. And the second party, the ODS, on the other hand, are a right-wing party who agreed to return, but the idea was to return and replace only a small fraction of the property, just almost nothing. Just okay, we returned something, so we can agree we return it, and now we are okay. So this was the two big parties which switched the situation for a long time. So for 23 years, it was not possible to arrange a Concordat. Why? Because the political establishment did not want to return stolen property. It's absolutely obvious, the reason. At the moment, as my colleague Miloš said, there is already an agreement of restitution, and the payments will last until 2030 and 2043. It depends from which point of view you take it. We have like two deadlines. And since we have an agreement on church restitution, we can finally start negotiation a Concordat agreement. Will the Czech Republic finally have a Concordat? If you here because you want to hear some happy ending, maybe it's not a good presentation for you. The government has listed a Concordat as its priority in 2022. A Concordat exists and it's agreed on both sides of the Holy See and also of the Czech Republic, but the text has to be approved by the parliament, and since the parliamentary elections are next year, I don't think it is possible to approve it in the time. And the next government, according to the polls, will not want to deal with this and will lose the possibility of having a Concordat for at least next 5 years. Maybe they will here for 10 years, or maybe in 10 years or more. So this is because of 3 things why we don't have a Concordat. And this is maybe the answer on your question. First is the union of Austria-Hungarian with the church. It was big connection, so people in Czechoslovakia was totally agree the church because they think that church means Austria-Hungarian Empire. The second is over 14 years of communism, and absolutely it's in our history, so we have to fight with this idea also after this fall of the regime. And the inability to agree on the church restitution for 43 years. 43 years we don't agree with some agreement of the church restitution. Thus, 106 years have passed since the last Concordat of Czech territory we had because of Austria-Hungarian Empire in 1918, and it's a disgrace for the Czech Republic to miss the Concordat, and we still don't have it. Thank you. That's all from me.